Happy Friday, everyone. Great to see everyone this week. We're here on Relatable, and we're going to be talking today about relatable methods for predictable relationships and sales demand. This is going to be a fun show. Peter and Mary Catherine have some examples of how you can use Relatable that we'll be getting into. But let me turn it over to you Peter, and tell us what we got going on.
Well, like I always say to Mary, we actually just so to give you guys an announcement, we have a podcast coming up that Mary and I are working on. It's called "Can You Relate?" and it's going to be really interesting on all of this stuff we're talking about here. But we're going to have some big name people, celebrities, things like that in our network of contacts down the road. But I will say I'm the dog at your door, and the reason why I say that is because we had a dog. My dog Hurley passed away. I did a post about this on LinkedIn, and the thing about dogs or pets, and you guys can relate to this, right? Is when there's food around the dinner table, they always show up, right? So, and I always say 80 or 90% of sales is showing up, but showing up in the right way. Now, Hurley would put his chin on my leg, and give me the poor me, like I'm starving, which he wasn't. He was a little sausage, but the point I'm making here is, the showing up in the right way. And that's what Relatable is really all about. It's a new category of software. It's about creating interactive video relationships at scale. And we're the first in the world to be able to do this. And for you to be able to do this, both on your phone, anytime, anywhere, and all you need is your face, phone, and finger. So today we're going to show you a lot of different methods. Just to recap, we have talked about lead gen, which is you inviting them into your sales process and persuading them to buy. We talked about looking in the mirror, and ask yourself, how do you buy? You don't buy that way. In fact, when's the last time you had a thought in your head where you said, hey, I'm interested in this particular product. I think I'll pick up the phone and call a salesperson. I mean, you guys think about how ridiculous that is, right? And if you know SDRs and BDRs out there, they're having a tough time now because lead gen is just dying because the behavior has shifted. It's now the relationship economy with demand gen. Demand gen is the potential client or customer inviting you into their buying process when they're ready. So what you have to do is create that demand, which we've talked about that. That comes from awareness, consideration to get to readiness. And so that's about being different, sharing your unique point of view, having change of perspective content. I think it was last time we got on, we talked about all three of us about how do you change your website from just the standard billboard, fax machine type website to a demand generation website. And what do you do there? So we have these, that's kind of a recap. We have these different shows. They're up on YouTube. And Jim, I guess you can throw a link up there on the YouTube at some point in this discussion. But today, like Jim said, we're going to be talking about, I put from chaos to calm because right now, I don't know if you've talked to some of your business colleagues, but, and I see this in content that's being produced on LinkedIn, people are starting to get in a panic mode because email marketing, sales funnels, selling in the DMs, all this stuff is, it works a little bit, but it's not working the way it used to. And there's more and more and more and more noise out there. And so you have to break free from that framework. You got to be different. And then, we suggest using the Relatable tools so that you can, because here's the thing, guys, you're seeing us here. Imagine you being in front of your potential customers or clients or your existing customers and doing it with video, but not just passive video, because passive video creates passive viewers. So we're not about, YouTube shorts or TikTok or anything like that. We're about creating interactive video experiences and then doing a reconnect and re-engage. And then Mary's going to come on and show you how to build one of these. They're pretty simple to put together pretty quickly. And we've got something new I'm going to share at the end called reminders, a set and forget that will just destroy your competitors out there in the marketplace. So Jim, that's a kind of the introduction. I think the next thing we're doing is, Mary, are you up? You're going to walk people through a session?
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go. All right. So before we start this, let me set it up. So, like Peter talked about, this is all about being relatable. It's like Hurley. You show up, but it's the way you show up. And the way this particular video that I'm going to share with you shows up is in what we call a session. So there's two different types of videos that we typically create: clips, which are shorter interactive videos, and sessions, which are more choose your own adventure, longer videos, interactive videos. And this specific session was a video that I recorded on the beach. I think it was New Year's Day, because people always, have a word of the year. Well, I had 3 words for this year. And I set up this video so that I recorded my information and asked specific questions about each of those 3 words. And I shared it in my network and asked people to participate in this process and share with me what their words of the year were. And so I'm going to go through how I created this. All of the most of the thought process has to happen beforehand. I use typically mind maps. I used to use mind maps. Because I've done this so much, I just figure out what I need to say and then record it as I go. But as you structure a video like this, you just have to think about where you want your audience to interact with your content. And so with these 3 words, I set up some chapters, and I'll show you how that works, so that people can actually choose which of the 3 words that I'm going to have for this year that they want to participate in, which ones they want to hear what I'm talking about and answer questions and engage with this content. And then they can choose to go to another one. They can choose it in any order they want. They don't have to go in the order I subscribe, or they can choose not to participate in 2 of them and only think about one. That's the whole idea of what we've been talking about is demand generation. This fits that demand generation framework because you're allowing your potential buyers to participate with your content in their buying process, not your sales process.
Before we
All right.
start, before we jump in, I have one thing to add. So one thing I want to point out before Jim hits the play button here is you see this picture up here. One of the key things with this is you can make custom thumbnails. You can use the YouTube thumbnail, but you can make custom thumbnails like this. You can also add custom GIFs. So, if you're posting on LinkedIn, you want to have it look like a video. So people tap on it and go, oh, there's video there, right? So whether it's a GIF or a thumbnail, we do these in Canva. You can get a Canva free of charge. And we produce these in there. You can have your own brand colors, your own images like Mary has here. So I just want to point that out because it's key. You can make these look very, very professional looking.
Absolutely. And I'll actually show you what that looks like. So as I do this session, I just on the fly decide, I'm going to go ahead and add a thumbnail here instead of just use the title and description. And of course, I didn't take out the title, so it looks kind of funky, but I wanted to show you exactly how that works and the fact that you can change that anytime. And just shout out, hello, Michael. Hello, Doug. Welcome to the conversation. Really excited to see you here.
Before we jump in, there's some comments in there. Yeah. Do you want to go through the comments, Jim? Do you see them in there?
Yes.
Just hello.
Yeah, I think it's just we got Doug Lehman and Michael Holt saying hello, and we got some other people lurking, as we can see by the live viewers on LinkedIn. So don't be afraid to ask questions or say anything. So
perfect.
Or just sit and watch, and I would love, after you see what we can do with this this framework and tool, I would love for you to let us know what you think and ask any questions, because this is a bit of a new way of thinking about interacting with your audience. And I think you're going to like it. So go ahead, Jim. Let's
all right. I'm going to
hit the play button.
Hit the play button.
And you'll see when I come in, I'm going to choose that specific video. I'm going to hit the little pencil right next to it. And what happens is this setup session is there. The top is your video and styles. The next one is your pop-up setup. And the third is re-engagement. So I'm going to start with video and styles. That's going to allow me to put in the marketing palette. Then I'm going to go to pop-ups and add the interactives and edit them. And then re-engagement is if I want to bring people back in, if they drop off, I can bring them right back to where they left off, or I can send them to different engagements based on the actual interactions they have. So I'm going to start with video and styles. You can see that upload video is already done. Underneath it, you'll see the link. I already have the link there. I use YouTube Unlisted as my hosting. And you can see the title and the description. And they are both on. They're toggled on, so I can toggle them off and toggle them on. And then I'm going to go down to the add thumbnail. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. I click that add thumbnail. It opens Dropbox. I can choose any of my images in Dropbox as that thumbnail, just like Peter mentioned. So let's see which one I'm going to do. I'm just going to add one just for the sake of adding it. So
I always use the search tool because I have too many in there. So
there's
I just type in search
yeah.
tool.
And then I
Otherwise,
choose it. Yeah. Yep. And now I'm going to go up to the top and either hit branding or to the bottom, set up branding. All right. And so there's that thumbnail. You can see it already represented. And I hit the add palette. There's my relatable palette. And I'm now going to go in and each of the elements, the play button, the text and the heading, the descriptions, I can change the color, the font, the size, all of them. I just click the little edit pencil and change any of that, the colors and the fonts that I want. Okay, so that's what I did with all the buttons and text. And now I hit continue. And now Relatable automatically takes me to the next section, which is the pop-ups. Now you can see that red pencil and the red play button. That's the start button. And we can move that start button anywhere we like. So if we mess up in the beginning of the video, we don't have to re-record it. We can just move the start button. And then wherever I want to move, I hit that green plus button to add something or to edit something that's already there. So I'm going to move. You can see me using the micro scrubber, that little gray area with the little lines on it. That's the micro scrubber. And I'm moving it back and forth to try and find, or I use the macro scrubber, as you saw, that white scrubber at the bottom. So I'm going to move it to one of the questions and either I can add a question or edit it. This one is a text, but I can change it to any of these options. So this is a question. What are your words of the year? And I want people to be able to enter their own data. And then once they do, where do I want to send them? Well, I can send them to anywhere. I can send them to continue the video. I can send them to an external link. I can send them to another chapter, anywhere I want to send them when they answer that. Now I'm going to show you the home menu. This is the beauty of a session, that little house. I'm going to go there and click the edit pencil and show you the fact that we can add any of these home menu features. So with this, I can change any of these pop-ups to any of the others. As you can see, I can choose any of, but I'm going to keep it in the home menu. And I can also pause the video or show this home menu for any length of time while I'm talking on the screen. But I want to pause. So now it's, what will you do next? Here are the 4 options. Here are my 3 words of the year. I can stack them on top of each other, 2 across, 3 across, change that alignment anytime I want. And each one I can then send to different parts of the video. Okay, so that's what I'm going to show you. Each one, like say adventure, I can edit that and I can make it a button. I can make it an icon. I can make it an image, again, from Dropbox. And I can redirect people anywhere in this I want. So here I just changed it to relationship. Nope, I want to leave it adventure because the adventure button should go to the adventure chapter. And that's it. So once I hit done, now I'm going to go to that first chapter. See, all I need to do is move that micro scrubber and there it is. There's the adventure chapter. And again, I can change that to anything I want. But I want it to be a chapter because I want people to choose that. So now, again, I'm moving the micro scrubber, or I could use that macro scrubber at the bottom and looking for, there's a question. So let's go back and check that question within the adventure. It's a text input. What do adventures mean to you? And again, that's a text one. They're going to answer it. So you can add any kind of interactions. There's another question I just writ by. Any interactions you want throughout this session. And people take their own adventure with your content and participate. So at the end of the adventure section, now I'm going to give them the option to go back to the home menu and choose another one. So what's next? And that connects to the actual home menu. There's the next chapter, which is relationships. And the same thing happens. We can go and ask questions. And I'm just talking about my interpretation of business relationships, just there on the beach. And there's a question. What kinds of communication tools do you use? And this is a multiple choice. They can choose any of these or none of them. And each of them will continue the video to the next interactive.
Wow, that's pretty.
Now I'm going to view. So you want to pause it for a sec, Peter? And did you want to say something?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're gonna. Well, if we could, I don't know if you can find this. Is there a way, Jim, you can go back a little bit and then come back here, or is that too tough?
No, I can come back. I just
come back, because there's one thing I want to point out. Mary, you're doing this is a wonderful tutorial, but if you can go back to a screen where she sets it up,
sure.
Drag back. Okay, right there. That's good.
There you go.
Oh.
So one of the things, guys, too, that's like the reason why we did this is because I don't know about you, but like when I build something, could you just stop the video there?
Pause it?
Just go back to that screen and pause it. That'd be great. Yeah, there we go. Just pause it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's not going to leave it there.
Well,
yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and hit play. The point I want to say, you'll see this view button down there. The reason why we put that in there is because you can tap that view button at any time, and it will show you exactly what you just built. It gives you instantaneous feedback, whether it's the thumbnail, how you want it to look, the buttons, how you want it to look, the question, how you want it to look. You just hit that view button there, and it shows you instantaneously. Now, you can watch the whole thing when you're all done, but I like to do that because I want to see, okay, is everything good in that one the way I set it up? And if it isn't, I can correct it right there and then just move on. And the other thing to remember too is, remember, we built this so you can do this on the phone. That's why, Mary has this micro scrubber and the macro scrubber. You're just doing that. So all you need is your face, phone, and finger. You just scroll with your finger, and you put these things in there with your finger. So like I always said, I don't care whether you're in an airport, coffee shop, taxi, walking around in a park, anytime Relatable strike you, you can do one of these and you can build it and get it out the door and send it to your social sites. Or I'll share a story here coming up to a particular person that got me a meeting with somebody that has nearly 1 million connections on LinkedIn. So this is a powerful way to do this. So Mary, go ahead. I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, that's great. So now, but most of the time I want to view the whole thing, because sometimes I miss a question that's been added in there and I didn't know it was there. So the video stops in a place I don't want it to. So I just view it and just, use that macro scrubber and move it to the next section. So there's me talking, and the wave's going to come up and get me. And got to run out of the way. But then I just go to the next, because see, I have an opt-in. So I want to collect this data. And of course I can't collect it legally unless I ask for permission. So here's the opt-in. So there it is. I'm just going to click continue because I've opted in before. Now I'm going to use that macro scrubber again and go to the end of this section to see what the question is and make sure it's what I want it to be. And I'm just going to fill it in just to keep going through. And so I go through each of these just to make sure that everything is working the way I want it to work. And when we get back, so there's the home menu, there's the 4 different options. Now I can make that pretty. I can use the images in Canva, put them into Dropbox and make beautiful images for there. This is just one that I just put buttons in. And so that's really what you can do, is test it out before you share it. Here's one of the multiple choice questions just to make sure that works. And so when people choose something, as you can see, I'm choosing the different options, and then I have to click next. And so you can test this in any way you want. Make sure everything works. As Peter said, you can check each of them individually. But now I'm going to go back and I'll tell you that top little hamburger menu is one of the most beautiful menus you could ever have. So there's the end of the video. But that top hamburger menu, and I'm sorry, I must have taken that out. That top hamburger menu allows you to see all of the interactives that you have in this particular video. You click that hamburger menu and it shows you every single one, and it shows you where they are, what time codes they are. Since you're talking about video, you need to make sure you hit the time codes. So it shows you everything. You can just jump right to one of those particular interactives that you want to change anytime and change it, or look at it, or edit it, or make it a different type of interactive anytime you want. So that little hamburger menu saves my life in these long sessions, because, like you saw, I'm just moving it, and I move it and I happen upon a question. You don't have to do that. You just go up to the hamburger menu and you see all of your options. So anyway, that's a session. It is a way for you to engage with your audience in a way you have not been able to do so far. Building relationships with you on video and allowing them to choose their own adventure with your content. Now, I would not suggest, when you're first starting out in Relatable, we talk about starting to walk before you can run. So the first thing I would suggest you do is do short little clips and share them just to get used to using this tool. And then once you start feeling how this works and seeing how it works, the ideas are going to start coming like never before. And you're going to jump in and say, I can do this and I can do that. And that's when you can start jumping into a session. But let's just talk about that, what we just did, what you can do in your business with, if you still use lead magnets, or if you want to invite people to a live event like this. The use cases are endless. And with this one, let me just share a story. I've had people talk to me about the fact that they have one word for the year. And now when they're engaging in my 3 words, they said, how can I engage with people with my one word for the year and make it impactful for both of us so that we can keep track of each other and we can help each other grow. That's the kind of interaction I've been able to get using this session, just talking about the beginning of the year and how can we look at the year and create a word of the year. So I'm getting a lot of feedback from people asking me to help them with their one word of the year so that we can keep each other accountable.
No, super.
Any comments?
Great session. The only comment I'm going to make is I don't know if you guys saw it, but remember I said about Hurley, dog at the door. That guy, that little guy, our jalapeno, that's Jalapeno Joe. He's our dog at the door.
Yes, he is. He's our little jalapeno.
Yeah, he's cool. So, Jim, you have anything you want to add? Any stories or anything?
No, I think this is great. I mean, Mary just showed how easy it is to get this going, and it really just becomes a matter of, maybe you don't want to have people opt in right away because, it's that whole thing with we talk about the trust factor all the time. It's like, I don't really know you yet. I'm not ready to give up my email. So you can still have them go through that process without having to have the opt-in. I think that's maybe where you want to start sometimes.
Oh, yeah. It is. When you're, like I always say, when you're up in awareness, that is not the appropriate time to ask for an email or phone number, because remember, people don't know you and their BS meter is at an all-time high and they're just not going to give it to you. But, people, Jim, you had a story I want you to share, because you sent out I think it was a relatable to your list, and maybe talk about you got on that.
Yeah. So actually, I think it was the 23rd, I decided to experiment with my Convert Kit, and I took my Relatable that was about the affiliate program. Plus, it also, part of that video, we have the ability for people. One, Peter talks about, future-proofing your business, and it also just lets people know what the features are, because maybe they just want to try the product. They're not interested in being, in the affiliate program. Well, I have a list of about, it's not a huge list, 240 something people, but I had an open rate of over 50%, and I've had 17 people click on the video, and it's led to getting invited to be on a show. It's led to 3 people wanting to get on my calendar to talk about Relatable. And really, it wasn't a long email. It was kind of like, hey, here's what I've been doing. Love for you to check this out. Let me know what you think. So I thought that was very powerful, because I have not really used video before in my emails, and knowing that it will work with something like ConvertKit gives me other ideas of how I can share interactives. To Mary's point, maybe it's a upcoming event. And so, because people can take all that action inside of the video, that I think is more powerful than expecting them to go, like, I guess we call it link hunting in your emails.
So here, I've got to say something here real quick. So this is typical email. Like you said, you had a 50% open rate in this, and you said 17 people clicked. So if we take your entire list that had the chance to see this video, that's a 7% click-through rate from your entire list. Mm-hmm. But if you look at the 50% of the people that actually opened this email and read it, that's a 14% click-through rate. Yeah. I'm just going to ask anybody, have you gotten 14% click-through rate in your standard text emails?
Yeah.
That's
compared to the 1 to 2% you normally get with just basic text emails, right?
Yeah.
It's 7 to 14 times.
Yes.
It's not even close.
That's crazy.
And again, guys, here's the thing. The magic of this, yes, the tool is great. The tool makes it easy. You can build things. You can do things like Mary was showing you. But I will say the key thing to this, the reason why, is because Jim was talking to people through video. he was sharing through video, and not just any video. It's not passive video. It's interactive. It's engaging. When you get the brain into engagement, they're much more likely to continue to engage with you. That's just a brain science type of thing. So, you know, you just remember, passive video is passive viewer. Interactive video that builds relationships is engaged viewers that you can build trust and relationship with. So I say all the time, you guys, you know the old adage, people do business with people they like, know, and trust. And you're going to see in one of my methods too, people will share your videos with people that they like, know, and trust as well, if you have good content, because you're in the video.
Yay, Michael. Yeah, I saw that video that you posted, and I love the team building that you do with the little golf balls into the cups and things like that. But yeah, I shared that. Someone asked me if they could use this to find employees, and I said, well, go look at what Michael's doing.
Right.
So good job. I hope that works really well for you. I'm sure it will.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. I mean, just like you said at the beginning of that video, right? This is literally choose your own adventure. It's really a factor of, you know, how creative can you get? And I know we've talked with Michael. Michael has we've even, you know, Peter and I talked. He's basically created what we'd call these digital billboards, but now with Relatable, he can actually make it a digital interactive billboard, because he can have the QR codes from Relatable on there, and people can scan it where they are and actually interact with these people right away. So I think it's pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah, and
No,
Michael, you could actually do a qualification with Relatable as well, to ask questions on the Relatable session, and as people answer, it you know, it specifies what type of job and if they're qualified or not. I mean, the possibilities are endless before they come in for an interview, to make sure that they meet your criteria. So yeah. Anyway, I interrupted, Peter. Go ahead.
no, it's okay. Let's we're at 27 minutes, so let's jump into, what are we doing? Smart script, Jim?
Yes. So we're going to do smart
Yeah, why don't
script.
we play that, and I'll talk about it for a few, and then we can jump into the screen share on that. So
Yep.
So this one, basically, this is a GIF. I use this because I wanted it, you know, to appear like a video. And in here, I'm talking about, so here's a problem we all have. And I've, you know, Jim and I have run into this all the time, which is, okay, I'm a CEO or a founder. I'm in a company. I'm an employee. I want to develop a personal brand, but when I get in front of the camera, it's like, what do I say, right? And we all have that problem. I had it when I first started using Relatable. So smart script is the ability to use artificial intelligence inside Relatable, where you can put in a prompt, just like you do for ChatGPT or Gemini, and it will spit out an entire interactive video script complete with questions. And then if you want, you can edit it, but it gives you a way to get started. It's kind of like the training wheels. So you don't have to worry about what to say, because you can get your script ready to go before you turn on your teleprompter and record. So Jim, that kind of gives it, let's just jump into the screens here, and I'm going to show people now how this actually works. So we'll
Try that. Yeah.
Okay, so here it is. So it asks, you know, how would you like to begin in the project? So I'm going to start a new project here. The next thing is do you want to record a video? Yeah, because I'm not uploading something from YouTube. Is your video going to be 3 minutes or is it longer? I want to do a short one. And then it's like, how would you like to have script assisted? So we hit pick one. And you see here, there's AI smart script. So you have manual script, you have bullet points, talk off the top of your head, but I'm going to use the AI smart script. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll choose that AI script. And now I've got to choose a folder where I want to put that script, right? So I'm just going down. I think I'm putting it in testing. So I hit continue in there, or tap on continue. So I give the script a title. So in here, I think this one I'm going to do for chiropractors. So this is going to be, you know, chiropractors using this to get an appointment. Okay. So this is where you just put your prompt in. Please enter the topic of what your script is about. I'm just pasting this in here. And you can see it talks about your chiropractor, write a video script that diagnoses a person's issues related to back pain, neck pain, or migraines. And then share that you'll send them a custom video to talk about how to fix their pain, and ask them for their email to receive a custom video. So this is what we call compressed demand gen, right? People who have back pain, they're not going to sit there and do a lot of evaluation. They want relief. So basically I do that. And then now the next thing we go through is there's going to be a series of questions in there. So the first thing is, what's the specific objective or purpose, right? So what do I want to do? From build trust to engage, inspire action, I choose motivate to action, right? So then the next question is, how many words do you want it to be? Our average speaking time is 130 words per minute. So I choose 200 words, okay? The next one is, what would you like the tone of your voice of your script to be, right? So you can choose authoritative, formal, friendly, humorous, playful. I think I chose conversational on this particular one because I just want it to be conversational while I'm talking as a chiropractor. The next one is, what's the reading level? Now, remember, guys, I chose 7th grade. It's not that people can't read. It's just that it's more clear and concise when you choose 6th, 7th, or 8th grade. So I chose 7th grade at that level so that people get it right away. What action do you want the viewers to take after watching the video as the chiropractor? So when we go ahead and tap on that, you can see there's a ton of actions. Give us a call. I said, send the email. And then what is your primary business? Well, there's hundreds of them in here. You can do the search at the top, or I just scroll down. You can see all the businesses. I'm picking chiropractor when we get to that one there. And then we're going to talk about age. So what's the minimum age? Well, I said, we'll start with 20, and then we're going to go up to about 80, right? But you can pick whatever age range you want, and then you hit the continue button. And now AI starts working and it's generating your interactive script for you. So it's going to come back here in a second, and it's going to give you a complete script. And here it is. Okay. So now I select the camera. I want to do facing front because I want to turn the teleprompter on, and I'm the chiropractor, and I'm using the default microphone that I have. Okay. So there you see me. I'm on the teleprompter, and here's my script. Now, if I want to edit this script, then what I do is I just tap on the script, and here comes the editor. I can change it. I can change the questions. I can change any of the wording. And when I'm finished, I just go ahead and tap on done. And now my script is ready to go. The next thing I would do is just change the font size. Some of you guys maybe have bad eyesight. You can make it bigger, and then change the scroll speed. And then I would go ahead and hit the record button. It gives you a 5-second countdown to get ready to go. And then when you're done, you either trash and redo it or download it. But that's basically how to use SmartScript and come into the teleprompter. It's pretty simple and easy. You can go ahead and play with it. You can redo it. You can edit it. But it gets you started with Relatable. If you're not sure what to say in front of the camera, you can use the AI SmartScript to get you going. I will, just from my own personal experience, guys, once you do this a few times, your business, you're an expert at it, and you're going to be able to talk off the top of your head all the time. But that's the SmartScript one. So I think the next one we're going to go into is QR codes, which I think is one of Jim's favorites. So we'll pull it up if you like QR codes.
All right, and here we go. Yep, this
again was a GIF. You can see I look like I'm half drunk there, but that's okay. Anyway, I watched this, so we hit start over. But here I'm talking about, so QR codes, think about this, right? Jim talked about a digital display, having QR codes enter into your world. You can use QR codes if you're a speaker. I've done that before. We have, 500,000, 5,000 people pick up their phone and they scan it behind you if you're doing a talk, and they enter into your Relatable world. You don't have to have backroom sales anymore. You can have them order right in their phone on their screen. Plus, you can take them through some kind of a Relatable interactive choose your own adventure, like Mary said, and collect their email and collect their phone number. And now you're building your audience where you could not do that before. There's all different kinds of ways to do QR codes. Another one we're talking about right in there is put them on your book. If you're an author, put a QR code right on the book cover. And that way you can go ahead and you can have them come into your Relatable world. You can use QR codes inside the chapter of your book for key learnings. So think about this, right? A book is no longer a book. It's a choose your own adventure interactive learning experience. And by the way, after they're done watching the interview or the key learnings, you take them right back to Amazon to buy your book, so you can increase your book sales. But you can also use it to sell your courses, your masterminds, anything you have as part of your content business. where you're using the book as kind of the front end marketing tool. So Jim, let's go ahead and we'll jump in now to how to set these QR codes up. They're pretty simple. We'll just keep going forward here. By the way, all these methods that we have, they're out in LinkedIn in my post. So we're going to go ahead first of all and pick one. I think it's I don't believe in lead magnets. And like Mary said, anything you want to do, you just hit the green pencil on the side there. So when it comes to the point here, we're gonna go ahead and tap on that green pencil, and you're gonna see where it pops up in that where she showed video styles, pop-ups, and re-engagement. It's gonna go ahead and show that menu where you can choose the QR code there. So there it is. Like I said, you're gonna scroll down and you can see there under copy link, it says QR code. So you tap on that on your phone with the QR code. You can either view the video there or you can copy the QR code right there. We have it built into Relatable. And then that particular QR code, you can share anywhere and everywhere. I mean, I don't know if some of you guys are real estate agents, put them on park benches, put them on buses, put them wherever you want. On this particular one, I have one here on this custom image I did in Canva with the QR code. So if I want to post that somewhere online on digital media, people scan it with their phone and away they go. They're inside my Relatable world. So basically, that's how you use QR codes. Did you guys have any thoughts or ideas or things on how you've used QR codes or how people could use QR codes?
Yeah, I mean, I see several ways. I mean, one, you see these magazines that are in print. They could have QR codes for their advertisers. They could have, a QR code, like you said, that when you scan it, instead of it not just being notes from the editor, it could actually be the editor talking to them about what's going on in that. I think, we've talked about, Michael Holt with Linkit using the QR codes in their videos that people are watching these screens in a physical location. You scan the QR code and you're able to connect with that advertiser right then and there. I mean, and I think the idea just keeps growing as how it can be so much more effective. I mean, even the people that like to pass out flyers, right? It's like, well, put the QR code on there and you scan it and you're able to just get so much more out of that than just expecting them to type something, right? I mean, think about that, right? Older people don't like tech, but it's like, well, if you just scan this QR code with your phone, you can sign up for an appointment, you can text them. I mean, all that stuff is available all through that QR code. I just think that is so powerful because people are getting used to QR codes. And I think that's a big thing.
I got to say, thinking of Hurley, dog parks, as you bring your dog to a dog park. And can you imagine if you were a local, at dog and cat store, right, that had a cleaning washing station in it that you can come in. Can you imagine having a QR code and a sign at the local dog park and people scan it and say, is your dog getting dirty, having fun playing with their friends? Here's our calendar, or here's our sign up sheet, or why don't you bring them on over to our washing station and give them a fresh cleanup before you bring them back to the house. Anything like that, anything. It'll bring them into your experience for whatever. And the beauty of this, guys, you can change that at any time. The QR code stays there and you can change it to say, is your dog hungry? Come and bring them on over and get them some snacks, right? Whatever you're specializing in that time, you don't have to change the QR code. You change your video and you change some of the options on the video on the fly, anytime. It's just a beautiful thing.
Mary, that's so powerful. Yeah. I mean, that I think too, to your point, I mean, you can add things, you can subtract things. I mean, because the video link doesn't change and neither does the QR code. And that I think a lot of times, right, that's what keeps us or holds us back. It's that whole idea of, oh gosh, now I got to redo this and redo that.
Gotta be perfect.
I just got to tweak it. It's amazing.
The other thing that got me thinking, Mary, when you said that, think about like mobile pet, HVAC companies, plumbing companies, electrical. Think about the wrap you have on your van. Imagine big QR codes on either side of the van. When you stop, people are there. Pull out their phone. They're going to scan your QR code right on your van. I mean, and now the founder or owner of the company, the business owner, can talk to them directly. I mean, think about the power of that. I mean, the more times, we come up, we talk about these QR codes, the more excited I get, because there's so many uses for that. And guys, here's the thing. We all learned to use QR codes during COVID. Remember the restaurant days when you had to come in with your mask and the QR code was there and you ordered and then they dropped it off. There was no wait people. I mean, that's how that was the revival of QR codes. And so you could put, Mary, we haven't even talked about it. Mary embeds these. You can embed relatables on your website. But if you want to make it kind of fun, like what's behind the QR code, you could put a series of QR codes in your website, scan it, and away you go. Then you're in a relatable. So I think we've done enough with the QR codes. Let's go to the next one. What's our next one here, Mike? Or Mike? Jim?
Yeah,
your name is Mike. Actually, I was going to call you jalapeno Joe, but
well, the next one we're going to talk about is how that you don't get penalized for using links.
Oh yeah,
this
is
the
so
LinkedIn.
We are Mary and Jim and I, and a lot of the people in our partner program do this. So go ahead and click on this. Like this is guys on social, right? The social sites, LinkedIn, Instagram, it doesn't matter. They don't want you to leave the social site. And if you do, like on LinkedIn, impressions go down dramatically. Some of the content creators I've talked to, it's by a half or more, right? So it's like, well, how do you fix that so they can come into your relatable world? You can build your audience, you can engage, you can do that. But you got to remember, social is rented land. They're the landlords. You don't own it. And by the way, I know a lot of big content creators who recently over the last 2 months have been banned for a few days off of LinkedIn. So if you don't think that's going to happen to you, it's happened to even the big guys. So this is where you can go ahead and create these relatables and put in a GIF so it looks like a video or an image, and just tell them tap on it and it will pop up. So Jim, let's go ahead and go forward, and I'll show people kind of how that's done. And by the way, these are all up on LinkedIn. So here I'm going to go in here, and you see that we have different ones. We have WhatsApp, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Reddit, email, SMS. These are all ways to share. We're going to do LinkedIn for today. So you can see I just popped up LinkedIn, and now the LinkedIn image popped up, the dynamic image, and I'm going to go ahead, and you can see there I'm going to put my thoughts, my post, because LinkedIn is text plus can be video, right? So here's my text on this one, and I put that in there, and when I get all done, you'll see at the top, I can, well, it's behind the R, but I can schedule it or I can post right at that time, right? So I like my post the way it's written, and now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit post, and that's going to go ahead and pop into LinkedIn. Now, when you go to LinkedIn, it'll go over to my profile, so you can see this one, what I just posted there. And to scroll down, you can see there, Relatable gets leads and converts customers. But what's cool is when I open this up, so imagine somebody's reading my post. They read it, and then what they'll do is they're going to tap on that image that's down there. And when they do, you can see there's no leaving LinkedIn. It pops the Relatable player right up. So LinkedIn still thinks you're in there, guys. They don't think you've left. But now you have them in your Relatable world, where you can, like Mary said, you can do a diagnostic survey. You can teach them something, have them opt in for a course. A lot of times I just, send them somewhere. I send them to our Substack. I send them to our website. If it's in awareness mode and we're just trying to create awareness and not do consideration, but you can do that. And that's the whole idea of these. This one, I'm just sending them to the website for a free trial, right? So I explain how do you go away from leads and more to demand gen, and how do you massively increase, like Jim was talking about with his Relatable, if you want to do that. So this is taking them over to the website there, and this is how social now talks about future proofing your business. How do you go away from social rented land into your own world where you can build your list, build your audience, and build your customer base with Relatable? Okay, so that's
let me add something if I can to that. This is extremely powerful. But on top of that, Peter showed you how the thumbnail pops up on LinkedIn. Well, instead of having that be a static pop-up, when you add the GIF, that is moving. So people know it's a video. They know it's moving. So they're going to be more likely to click on it when there's a GIF in there and they can see that it's a video. And even if they're not, you instruct them to click on it because you have more information to share with them. Just like anything else, if we're asking people to commit to something, and a click to watch something is a commitment. So we have to give them a reason. We have to give them something that is valuable to them, that is a reason for them to click. And we all know this in marketing. So when you do that and you add the GIF, it is so powerful to allow people to engage with you.
And just to add to what Mary said, GIFs are easy to do. So if you guys, the big 800-pound gorilla is Canva. We all use Canva. Unless you're a graphic designer, you use the Adobe Illustrator products. Canva, you go in, you upload your video, you pick your, we always say 3 seconds or less. Don't make the GIF really long. Just make it quick. You can put animations in there like you saw in mine in Canva. I'm using the free version. Then you go ahead and you save it. We do mobile, so it's the 1020 by 1980. And you go ahead and save it as a GIF. And then you upload it to your Dropbox, which you can get 2 gigabytes for free in Dropbox. And then you add it as a thumbnail, right? Like Mary showed you in the sessions. It's just that simple. Create it in Canva, upload it to Dropbox, bring it into Relatable. It's a simple 3-step process that will give you that motion and show that it's a video. Okay. Okay. Jim, any other comments you want to make on that one, or we're going to?
No, I think we'll keep moving on.
Let's power on.
Ready for the next one. So this is the SMS interactive video. And as you can see, you've got the GIF going. We haven't hit start yet, but you've got some movement there, and that's definitely powerful. So I'll go ahead and hit start, and you can take it away, Peter.
Okay, so SMS, guys, as you know, SMS is probably the most powerful way to get responses and get people to come into your world. As you know, I think it's like 96% of people read their SMS with their messages within the first 3 minutes they come in. So there's nothing like it. Obviously, yes, you have to have an SMS tool to send that out. We use Twilio, but we have other ones in Relatable that you can choose to connect with. But the power of the SMS is you can go ahead and send these as a Relatable right to their inbox if they've opted in, obviously with their phone number. And then you go ahead and type the text you want to send inside Relatable, and the link is carried through. When they tap on the link, pops your Relatable. So I'm going to show you how pretty much this one is not necessarily through SMS marketing. This is one where I want to send this particular interactive maybe to an individual or a small group of people. So here's what I do. I'm going to go ahead and I think I don't believe in lead magnets one there. And I'm going to show you basically how easy it is to send an SMS. So it starts again, everything starts with the edit pencil. You're going to scroll down here. You're going to see that in a sec where I scroll down. And you can see there's SMS right above email and below LinkedIn. So I'm going to tap on SMS. And this is the case where now I'm coming into my own phone. I can send this to anybody I want inside my phone. I can send it to a single person or a group. So this one, for the example, I'm just going to send it to myself. So I'm just typing in my name there, and I'm going to tap on that. And then you can see there's the link that pops up. You can see the one above it that has the thumbnail image for that particular one. Now I'm just creating a message. It says, here's a video on why lead magnets. Let's see what I say. I don't even remember. Why
don't
lead
work.
Magnets don't work. Yeah, probably don't work.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go. You're right. Yeah. Work as well as they used to. Okay. So that's the text I want to send to the group of people. And I'm just going to go ahead and tap on the SMS button over there. And there it comes in, and you can see it was sent to me. And when they get it, they'll get the thumbnail image in there because it just takes a little bit to build through the network. But I can go ahead and I can tap on that, and you can see now it comes right back into the one that Jim started us with. This is the video that I wanted to share to a particular colleague or a friend or a group of people through my phone. And remember, guys, this is something we're going to talk about here in just a few minutes about. We call this the magic genie in the bottle. When you're sending from your phone to other people's phone, or they're sending from their phone to other people's phone, that costs you exactly nothing to build your business. It's free of charge. It's phone-to-phone plan in the United States, right? So you can do this with SMS. You can do it with WhatsApp. If you're international customers, we're going to have one here in just a second to the website. But you can see this is another one with Jalapeno Joe there. It's a little custom button. Head to the website, and it takes me to the website, and they can watch this video now on the harsh truths that I'm sharing about how to future-proof your business and what you need to do there. Okay, so any other comments, Mary or Jim?
No, I think I really like the ability to do that, because you can even build your audience through text if you don't want to get an email, and by then opting in, you're able to send these videos in the future. Plus, they can share that video with their network, right? This gets into what we've talked about, Peter, with the whole referral marketing, if you want to call it.
Yeah, we're going to get to that here in just a second. I call that the magic genie in the bottle. That's coming up. So the next one, I think, Jim, let's go ahead and talk about email. So now let's go ahead and pull that one up. Okay, so we all know email's an issue. And, I'll be honest with you guys, I am against email marketing. But what if you could create a situation where email is no longer email? So in this particular one, what I did is I'm going to show you exactly how to embed these relatable interactives so that they're going to see that image, and there's going to be a little link or a button. They pop on it, and now they're entering your relatable world. So you got to remember, in brain heuristics, text, the brain is like, that's too much work. Image, that catches the brain's attention. It's like, what is that? I'm curious. I want to tap on that. And then video, even better, because now it's this enriched experience that the brain it's with images and video and things like that, the brain can interact with, right? So let's go ahead and play this one here. So in here, I'm just talking about, how do you, because guys, we all know email marketing industry average right now is 20% open rate, 1%, maybe 2% click-through rate if you're really, really good, right? So we've got to do something different. And the other thing too is email forever has been a arm's length stranger marketing type thing, right? But imagine if you could create an environment where, okay, it's no longer arm's length, and now you're popping up in the video and talking to them and starting to at least build familiarity, starting to nurture and build trust. And by the way, since they're in Relatable, you can run them through anything like Mary showed you with sessions. You can build that so that, eventually when it is the right time, they opt in, or if you have the email, they'll opt it. You're already opted in, and now you can re-engage them. You can nurture. So this is how we do this. So now I'm over here again in my home screen. The green pencil, once again, I'm going to tap on that, and it will bring up the menu item that you've seen pop up on the right-hand side here. And I'm going to scroll down. You can see right below SMS that I just did is email. So now I'm going to tap on email, and I'm going to create a relatable interactive video within email there. Okay. And again, you can do this to one person, or you can use this if you got MailChimp, ConvertKit, Drip. You can put these in your email marketing campaigns too. So here I clicked on email. Stand out from the social noise is this one. There it is, watch video, and you can see it says continue to email, that button that's underneath there. So now it takes me right and opens up the email. So remember, campaign or individual. This one I'm just going to send to myself. So I'm putting in my chatbotnation@gmail.com. If I could type and spell correctly, that would be good. I don't know about you guys, but I always screw those things up. Anyway,
Fingers, I know.
Yeah. Now what I'm going to do is I've got it. I'm going to send it to myself. And now below it, you can see it says tap Control V to paste it in. So I'm going to go ahead now. That embed is ready to go. And now I'm pasting it in there, and you can see there it is. And it has the button watch video at the beginning. So now I'm going to send this to myself. Before that, this is the text I wanted to write above it. So I pre-wrote that just for this demo. I'm going to copy it, and I'm just going to come back into the email, and I'm going to paste it right there. So you can see. So stand up from social noise. Hey, Peter here. And I talk about what I want to talk about. And I tell them, hey, just go ahead and tap on the link down below. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'll hit send, and I'm going to send that. Again, I can send it to anybody I want individually, or I can send it, to a group of people, or put it in a campaign. So now I'm over here in my email and Gmail, and it's going to come in here in just a second. And you're going to see this, how this looks as if I was the person receiving it. There it popped in. And now as the person received the email, I'm going to tap on that. And there you see it. Hey, Peter here. And there is the visual, which is nice. And the watch video. I tap on that button, watch video, and up pops the Relatable again. Now you're in the Relatable world. You're no longer in this 2D A to B linear email marketing thing that no one likes anymore. Now they're in a relatable, interactive experience. Your experience, again, like Mary said, choose your own adventure based on your priority. It's all how you set these things up and how creative you are, but you can create that whole interactive experience. So at the end of the day, email is no longer email. Any other comments you guys have?
This is powerful because, again, if you have the GIF and it's moving, that's even more. Peter talked about text. It's harder. Our brains, images we're drawn to, videos we are really drawn to. So, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and I would just add too, I mean, we know that there's other, we'll call them programs out there that allow people to put video into email, but it's not interactive.
Right.
And, you know, so this is like, you know, if you want to call it a Swiss Army knife, and that you can share this so many different ways. It's not just, you know, one aspect. And, you know, so that's the thing too, that, you know, and we're getting ready to show something here in a minute that I think is another, you know, game changer in how Relatable is just, you know, going to become your go-to for building demand generation and building interactive relationships.
Yeah, this is the last one. And Doug just said, good demos, enjoy your weekend. Doug, hold on, don't leave, because this is the magic genie in the bottle. If you're still out there, you're going to want to see this. So let's go ahead and pull that one up. We got about 4 more minutes left here. So this particular one, we call this, it's basically literal share video. So imagine this. Imagine you're creating great content. You have a video, one video or video series, and you want to set it up and then ask them at the end of the video series. Let's say you got 3 videos that are hooked together, and somewhere you're asking for an opt-in and you're at, or a phone or whatever, but you got really good content, right? And they're doing consideration and demand generation. So go ahead and tap on that play button, Jim. So think about it this way. I call this the magic genie in the bottle. And here's why. Because you can ask them at the end of the video, hey, if you like this content, would you please, I really appreciate it if you go ahead and share this with your friends and colleagues, okay? Now, this is where it gets really, really powerful, because they can share it in many different ways, and I'm going to show you now how to do that. So can you fast forward there, Jim, on this one, so we get to the screens?
Probably should have asked you ahead of time the timestamps.
Be blabbing. Yeah. Okay, so this one here, I'm sharing email is no longer email, but the video series is, I also have the SMS. So think about, in the builder, I can choose whatever interactive I want. So if you have a video series and you're asking them to share to their friends and colleagues, you can set it so you can send it back to the initial video. So they're not watching just the last video going, what the hell is this guy talking about? They go through the entire series. So this is how we do it. So on this particular one, I'm going to have them go in and do the, and where email is no longer email. And then what's going to happen is they're going to come to, like Mary showed you in a session, it's actually a pop-up. And this is the share video. You choose it in the builder. You can see I can share by SMS, email, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, or Reddit. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead, because I'm in the US, I want to send, I'm asking these people to send to their friends and colleagues, right? So I'm going to choose text. So now think about this, right? You're going to send that series of videos. You want to bring it back to the head end. You're going to go ahead and you can choose an individual or a group of individuals in your contacts, your phone contacts. I'm right in my phone. The viewer is in their phone contacts, and they're choosing the people. And this one here is, Janice, you got to see this Relatable software. It can send interactive videos. So this is the one where now it has the link, and you can see on this one, I'm not sending them to email is no longer email like you saw. I'm going to send them over to the SMS, because maybe that was at the head end of the video. So once I get done composing this message, when I send that, it's going to come to me. But imagine if it went to Janice, and Janice was a business colleague of mine. Janice had 1 million people on LinkedIn. So now she can go ahead and tap on this thing, And you'll see what's going to happen here is it won't send her to the email one. It's going to send her to the SMS one. There's the SMS, which you saw in the previous demo. I can send them anywhere I want to show them any kind of interactive content or interactive video relationship experiences that I want to send them to. And this is why I say this is your magic genie in the bottle. Because think about it. It's phone to phone. It costs you nothing. WhatsApp costs you nothing. Email costs you nothing. You can social post for free, and you can send them through the same video series. So there's nothing else. I haven't found anything else like this in the world. This is what I call, and you can go ahead and stop the video here, Jim. That's good. The key thing, guys, is what I want to share with you is this, and I talked about that, and Jim is sharing these method videos. If you haven't heard, there's a term called dark social out there. Dark social is not the dark web. It's nothing nefarious. Dark social is the ability to private message. And by the way, studies are showing up to 80% of people are sharing content, product, and service recommendations through dark social, through private messaging. And now with Relatable, you'll be the first in the world, if you're an early mover, to be able to build your audience, build your customer base, and have your raving customer fans share with other customer fans to build your customer base free. Zero budget. You can do it this way. Have good content, be on the videos, build trust, build familiarity, but then utilize your audience to share your content, which they're doing anyway. So this is a massively powerful way. We just call it share video, nothing fancy, but it's a massively way to share through these different channels. And no matter whether you're here in the US or you're global and you're using WhatsApp, you can do it either way and any way that you want.
And for those data junkies out there who just want all the pieces of data they can possibly get, if you have asked for an opt-in at any time in this process, you can now track who has clicked that button, who has chosen to share your information. And Peter shared with you how you personally, as a builder, as the business owner, can share your content. And now he just showed you how your fans, your potential buyers, and more importantly, your customers can share how great you are with those they have in their world. You have every possible tool to grow your business using demand generation and relationship economy. It's just a beautiful thing.
Yep, and so I'm sharing on the screen now, and it's also in the comments on LinkedIn and YouTube. We have a QR code here that, if you scan it, will create. Mary's created a Relatable that will actually let you sign up to get notified when we're going live in the future, which I believe will be 2 weeks from today.
2 weeks from today.
And we'll be back here on Peter's LinkedIn. We're also on our YouTube channel. We're actually on Mary's Facebook too, for those of you that might be out there in Facebook world, as well as Mary's YouTube channel. So yeah, I think this has been some great demonstrations. We're going to get more into this in the future, some specific use cases of how this is helping businesses grow their know, like, and trust.
Yeah, one last thing. 2 weeks from now, tune in. Here's why. I've got something that's going to massively grow your business. We call it Set and Forget. It's reminders. It's coming out in our this next week. And Mary, Jim, and I are going to show you exactly how to use this for both events and reminders in your company. You set it up once, and it runs like a machine in the background to continue to keep your customers loyal to you, to turn them into raving fans, to do this share video. But we're going to unveil that for you guys so you can see that that's the last piece. If you massively want to dominate and you want to grow your business and you want to keep your customers for lifetime value of the customers, Relatable can do it all for you while you continue your relationship with your audience, your customer base, and your community.
Good stuff. Awesome.
Can't wait to see you guys.
Take care, everyone. See you next time.
Bye-bye.